And we're back with another episode of Let's Play King's Quest 2 Romancing the Stones. I'm your host, the RPG Guy, and we had just gotten back from flying up in the sky, flying twice as high. We found out about it in a book. After we took a look, we got us the air gem. Or birth... No, not the birth gem, the whatever gem. The whatever gem. Because screw it.
It is a slightly luminescent green stone about the size of your palm. It looks like a normal sugar cube.
And
it does have a bit of sparkle, though.
now it is nighttime in the realm of And let us continue. Its evil eyes are peering from the forest.
Finding the door unlocked and unbarred, you enter the church.
Well, let's do that. And let's start by doing things you should do when you enter any kind of religious place.
You have no inclination to do anything with the crucifix.
Even if you don't believe, just
Feeling
pay
humbled,
respect, you know?
kneel down to pray. You rise again after a few moments.
Show respect, you know. You're
The monk
inside their
stirs,
place.
Stands and turns to face you.
What's up? What's up, boyo? Alright, let's talk to this guy.
Father, I go now to a place of darkness. While I am stout of heart, the path laid down before me is unclear. I seek only the knowledge that my passage be illuminated by heavenly favor, and a prayer that I may make it through.
The monk gives you a reassuring smile and pats you on the shoulder. He then lifts a silver cross from around his neck and places it in your hands.
Thank you.
You are welcome, my child.
You can talk?
Of course.
I thought monks were forbidden from speaking.
Not all churches follow the same rules, and this church is quite unique.
Really? How so?
The monk just smiles placidly at you.
He doesn't have a secret lap dance den that he lures little boys to? Something seems really off about this.
This crucifix.
I believe you will find the cross to be of immense value. It has come to us at a huge price.
It was expensive?
I mean that it has cost us more than any value to be in possession of it.
You don't say.
If I may ask, why is it that you only open the church at dusk?
We find the late hours more favorable.
But surely then you would not have many in your congregation.
Yes, that is true.
What do you know of the Count?
Only that he is a heathen, a blasphemer. You serve God well by going there, my child. Bless you.
The monk smiles at you, turns back to the altar, kneels, and resumes his prayers.
Fair enough. Let's go take a look at this.
You look over the Bible, which appears to be many decades old. You open it and find that an otherwise blank page at the front has been written on. It is dated over 20 years ago.
All those who have heard the word, the bird is the word. We are the chosen few, blessed by the spirits of the wild, destined for greatness, concealed by the cloth. There is but one challenge we must overcome before the future can be set in stone. The simple people of Colima cling still to the memory of their former ruler. Even now, years after his fate's dark turn, they retain their hope that he will not forsake them. As long as this is so, our goal cannot be attained. So, my brothers, it is our duty to see the land cleansed of its blight. Do not fear our enemy. Our faith, purpose, and power will guide us to the future we were promised. A path has been found to him, O brothers. Let him hear the warning howls. The cloth will be lifted for all time, and our songs will echo to the end of him, his influence, and his family. Our time is at hand. Lo Hoof. It's a strange name.
You return the Bible to where you found it. You also notice that a page from the Bible has fallen onto the floor. You pick up the fallen page and read it. The words appear to have been written recently. Seconds swift were wisely spent, searching everywhere we went.
Now, this is going to sound funny, but we need to take the information here and write down the first letter of every word.
You read the Bible page again. Seconds swift were wisely spent, searching everywhere we went. You read the Bible page again. Seconds swift were wisely spent, searching everywhere we went. You read the Bible page again. Seconds swift were wisely spent, searching everywhere we went. You read
I gotta do it one more time,
again.
sorry.
Seconds swift were wisely spent, searching everywhere we went.
That should be good. Okay. It is actually important that we know that, because it's actually, again, it's one of those few times in the King's Quest games where you got to write a little bit of info
Place
down.
the silver cross and chain around your neck and wear it as a necklace.
All right, let us skedaddle. Okie dokie. Let's start moving.
Without warning, a pair of wolves dart out of the dark forest and dash towards you.
Doggies!
For a minute there, you thought those wolves were going to attack. Curious as to why they didn't, you decide to follow them.
And the more you know.
You see the monk standing alone outside the church. Then you notice the two wolves approaching him. You are about to yell a warning to the monk, but the words die in your throat as the man steps forward and pats the wolves' heads.
No, my brothers, we must not hurt him. Not yet. He will go to the heathen's abode. He will do what needs to be done. What if he does not? Then, my brothers, we will complete the task before us, the one we began many years ago.
Uh-oh. He's turning into the Hulk. And I don't mean, you know, the Marvel Hulk. I mean Hulk Hogan. Or perhaps something else.
You quickly move away from the church, your heart racing faster with every step. You have a good idea now what will happen once the moon comes out in full, and you do not want to be anywhere near here when it does.
Mm-hmm. Time to really skedaddle.
One thing's for sure, you're not getting married in that church.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Let's move. Wolvesies, my oh my, they've come to do us no good, do or die. So let us head. More, I believe we should go. And then we're going to go ahead and head south here. And at least we'll be away from the wolf pack. Too sweet!
You'll need to walk around.
Yeah. Now we see things go, you know, things transpiring.
Oh, sir, have you seen my little granddaughter? She ventured to the town to buy food for me, but has not yet returned. I fear she may be in peril. The forest is not safe at night.
And thus we are pretty much told what to do. Simple enough, I guess. Let's go see if we can locate her granddaughter. Come on. There we go. So we traverse the darkness of the forest.
You hear the sound of a child sobbing nearby. As you approach, you recognize the child. It is Possum, the little girl you helped earlier today.
You don't say.
Are you all right? What happened?
I went into town to buy some chicken soup for my grandma. I always try to reach home before dark, but this eve I lost my way and was attacked.
Attacked? A wolf attacked you?
No, not by a wolf, a dwarf.
For a moment, you're not sure that you heard correctly.
A dwarf, did you say?
Uh-huh. He jumped out at me, took my food, and then ran away.
What a
Listen,
dick.
I'm going to try to find this dwarf that you say stole your food. You get back to your grandma, understand?
Possum nods, says a soft thank you, and heads back home.
We got our work cut out for us. Apparently, there's a tiny asshole foot here that we got to deal with. Easier said than done, but we're going to do our best to get back what was stolen from that poor little girl.
You rap on the treehouse door and wait a moment, but get no response.
We'll try again.
You rap on the treehouse door and wait a moment, but get no response.
Back over. There we go.
You watch as a little man runs out of the door, which has been built into a tree. You surmise that you have found the culprit's home. The vague aroma of chicken soup confirms it. That fiend.
We've seen this dude before, haven't we? Looks very familiar, does he not? All right. Asshole McFuckstick has now left the property.
Finding the door ajar, you cautiously open it and step inside the tree.
Time for us to do a royal B&E. All right. Now, this is a pretty timed event here, so we're just going to power through what we got to do here. We're going to head over, and clearly we're going to get this back.
You grab the handle of the bubbling pot of chicken soup. You take it with you. Upon opening the trunk, you find a number of items that the dwarf has obviously stolen and stashed away. Among them are some gold coins. They display the distinctive face of the first king. They could only have come from the magic chest of Daventry.
What a douche. She's stealing even from us.
You close
cheeky
the chest.
fucker. Alright, let's skedaddle before Grumpy McFiddlefuck comes back. Sees us in here stealing and looting his shit.
Since you are underground,
Come on.
you hear the latch fall into place again as the door closes behind you.
Let's go ahead and get out of Dodge, as they say. Head back to Granny's house. Why is he not going? There he goes. Alright, then in we go.
Welcome. Come in, please. Possum told me to expect you.
You can see that she's sleeping there in the bed there. Before we do anything, we will make sure that the soup is Nice and
You
warm.
place the now cold chicken soup over the crackling fire once more. After it heats up to eating temperature, you remove it again. You offer the soup to Possum's grandma, introduce yourself, and wait courteously while the frail elderly lady eats the nourishing meal. When she is finished, she sets the empty bowl down elsewhere and turns her attention towards you.
Let's give a talk to her.
If you would like to speak with me for a while, I would welcome your company. A person should never turn away a visitor, especially when she reaches the twilight of her life.
You can't help but feel a sense of finality in the old woman's words.
Damn.
You must have something in return for your kindness. You do not need to risk your safety for an old, worn-out woman like myself. Look under the bed. You should find something to keep you a little warmer on a cold night like this.
You peer under the bed and find a thick black cloak. Lying atop it is a beautiful ruby-encrusted ring. You pick both up with reverence.
I could not possibly take these fine things from you.
Oh, please. I want you to have them. Nights in Kolima are cold, believe me. As for the ring, well, perhaps it is better that I do not have it to remind me.
As you wish. You have a charming young granddaughter.
Grandma smiles at you graciously.
She is a treasure to me. I would do anything to ensure that no harm comes to her.
If I may inquire, what became of her parents?
Grandma frowns, and her eyes darken for a moment before she forces a melancholy smile to her face.
They were lost to us many years ago. I am afraid dear Possum never really knew her parents.
It must have been a daunting task raising a child by yourself, especially at your
At my age? I am certainly not as young as I used to be, and there is no shame in that. I have tried to raise her as best I could to keep her safe and well. However, I fear that as of late the reverse has become truer.
If you please, I was hoping you might tell me of the cloak and ring's origin.
The old woman closes her eyes as if the memory she seeks is painful to her senses.
They were my husband's. He was a proud man, the last of his line. His family had been rich, a great deal of old money, you might say. They lived in that castle you might have seen to the north. Its location upon that island is evidence of how much they valued their privacy. He was a good man, my husband. He took care of me. Certainly he had his strange habits. Most men do, if you would pardon me for saying so. I suspect that he practiced magic, so I could never catch him in the act. He would frequently journey afar, taking that black cloak with him wherever he went, to places he would not talk about. He said that it represented something important to a certain group of people, and that I was never to mention it to anyone. But he was always there for me, always, until that fateful night. We had been married just over a year, and I was heavy with child.
Uberella.
We were both out walking in the weirwood forest late one night. The air was warm, and in our youth we paid little attention to the world and its many dangers. Besides, there was a full moon. We could see clearly enough. A shadow passed over
Aw, I
us.
love
We
him.
looked up, thinking it might have been a stray cloud. It was not. Descending upon us like a demon was the largest, most hideous bat I had ever seen.
He's like, hey, you guys.
Its wings were bared, and it dove straight for me. I must have screamed,
My husband flung himself in front of me to protect me. He swung his arms about frantically in hopes of warding the horrid thing away. Perhaps he was trying to cast a spell, but could not recall how in his panic. It paid him no heed and would not be deterred. It swooped again and again relentlessly. At one point, my husband's hand must have clipped the bat's wing because it lost control and crashed into his shoulder. He tried to wrest the foul creature away, but then he shrieked suddenly. The horrid thing had bitten him.
You don't say.
He never did recover from that incident. He just faded with each passing hour. Within 2 days of the attack, my husband had died. We buried him on his family's plantation on the island. Sometimes when I sleep, I can feel him watching over me, guarding me, protecting me. I think he is waiting for my time to come so we can be together always.
The old lady seems to be dozing off. You can barely hear her final words.
I miss him so.
Telling the story has clearly taken a great deal out of her. You watch the old woman a moment and notice her labored breathing as she sleeps. Despite the little girl's tireless daily efforts, perhaps there's nothing more to be done.
Damn. Well, that's quite a bit of insight. Let's go ahead and head outside. Meanwhile,
Sister Agatha, my dear, tell me you
But
have
Chin.
any news.
The king has arrived in Kalima, father.
That is not what I meant.
Yes. Well, he appears to be quite resourceful. It seems his reputation was not totally exaggerated.
He's still alive?
For now, but that will change soon, I think. The king has discovered that one of the gems he seeks is in the possession of a colleague of ours. Do you remember? Kaldor.
Yes. Is he still trustworthy?
Totally. Still sharp, and there's no questioning his loyalty. My humblest apologies, father, but would it not have been simpler for you to have dealt with Graham personally?
Fool! Imagine the ensuing chaos where Daventry's king murdered in his own land. How then would I be able to search for the item?
I see.
Failure is not an option.
Understood, father.
Keep me informed, preferably of good King Graham's death.
almost sounded like a weird question. So clearly somebody in our own kingdoms put us up to this. I wonder who it could be.
You are now wearing the beautiful ruby ring.
And we're going to go ahead and...
With a flourish, you fling the black cloak around your neck and fasten it.
Nice. All right, let's get moving. Go this way to this way. Pretty much going as far north as the game will mainly allow us. And we're going to definitely make a light save here. Now, that poem that we read, or that bit of scripture, whatever, that we read from the church.
You read the Bible page again. Seconds swift were wisely spent, searching everywhere we went. You read seconds swift were wisely spent.
The thing is that every word of the poem tells us where we gotta go. I'm not kidding. It literally does. So we're going to follow the not very clear instructions. We're going to go south and south. And we're going to go west twice. And then west. And then we're going to go south. And we'll go south again. We're going to go to the east here. And strangely enough, we're going to go west twice. If we did it right, we should get... We hinted that we did, and we did. We see something.
From here, you cannot make out much detail. However, it is unquestionably a castle.
That's how we know we have traversed the right way. What a handsome young man. Let's see what he has to say for us.
Boatman, I need passage. I said...
I heard.
Ugh.
The ghoul's voice chills you to the bone. It speaks with a deep, resonating bitterness. You cannot make out a great deal of its face, but what you can see has the hairs on the back of your neck standing on end.
Chain smoking will do that to you.
Life, I would row this boat for the master. Long ago was my untimely death in these waters, but still I remember many things. Laughter, tears, joy, pain.
May I cross, Sir Boatman?
You have come to raid the master's house. This I know, but care not about. You should be warned, though. The master is not what he once was. Never has this land known a kinder, more compassionate, and nobler ruler than he. But his fate has long since been decided. Down a dark path he now treads, and he feels naught for anyone nor anything, save for one other. And even that is a rare trait for a Nosferatu.
You freeze. Neither the Door of Destiny nor Neptune mention this count as being undead.
If I may ask, Sir Boatman, how did this swamp come to be here? Is it natural?
No, the ground you stand upon was once farming land and dwellings for the peasantry.
How did it come to be like this?
A score of years passed after the master died, and a great morass opened up, covering the surrounding land with slime and poisoned water. Once rich and fertile, now it is no longer.
That's a lot of ass.
The Count has caused this?
It is believed so. For why else would his own castle be spared?
Ah, thank you, Sir Boatman.
All right.
The boatman accepts your payment and motions for you to climb into the boat.
And then he casts away.
The shrouded ghoul paddles across the toxic lake to the shore on the other side.
Before we go anywhere,
the ring is gold with an enormous red ruby. The word beloved is engraved inside the gold band. The black cloak would fit a taller man than you. These coins each have the distinctive face of the first king.
I think we read that already. Let's go ahead and pick the sugar cube here.
After swallowing the magic sugar cube, you get a feeling of invincibility.
Because if we did not, these poison little flowers here would
The sharp
kill
thorns
us.
brush against your skin. However, instead of feeling intense pain, you only experience a slight tingling sensation. Evidently, the magic sugar cube did its job.
Nice. So we make our way up to this foreboding castle with some ghouly ghouls. Before we deal with the ghouly ghouls, or the ghosts rather, we saw this, did we not, from the old lady's story?
Lord Herbert and Lady Lillian, 1646 to 1668, loving parents of Anastasia, beloved son and daughter-in-law of Count Caldor and Countess Lavidia, our enemies be warned. Their untimely deaths shall be avenged.
Damn.
Lord Herbert and Lady Lillian.
Okay. Keep that in mind, y'all.
As you approach the ghosts wearing the black cloak, they seem to notice you, and then begin to drift away towards the cemetery.
That's because we're wearing our black cloak. It's very stylish. Strangely enough, that's our way in.
Having an idea, you push the crucifix into the cross-shaped keyhole. It fits. You hear a click, and the door unlocks. You push the heavy wooden door open, take a deep breath, and step nervously inside the castle entrance.
In we go.
The moment you enter the great hall of the castle, you begin shivering uncontrollably, and not just from the cold. This place has an air of death wherever you go. As if creeping around this huge castle was not enough, knowing full well that an undead creature resides here would unnerve even the most stout-hearted of adventurers. You feel desperate to get what you came for, and anxious to leave as quickly as possible.
Because this is a good place for us to stop right now. I want to thank you guys for stopping by. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/JackTartStudios for more live gaming action. Because when we come back, we have a very dark, dangerous kind of exploration ahead of us as we investigate the evil castle. Is it really evil, or is it just a spooky looking castle full of death, disease, and derangement? That's for me to know and for you guys to find out. So thanks for stopping, guys, and we'll see you guys next time.